You hear a lot about the global influence of the United States, right? It's always about politics, economics, but what if we stripped all that away and looked at it from a purely engineering perspective? That's what we're going to do today. We're diving into the systems and the tech that really shape America's role in the world. So let's jump right in.
See, this idea of global influence, it isn't some abstract concept. It's actually built on real, tangible stuff, the systems that make our world go round. I mean, just think about the phone in your hand right now, or the cloud services where your photos are stored, or even the networks that handle your credit card payments. These things, these systems, are the real engines of global power today.
So, okay, that brings up a big question. What are the actual nuts and bolts of this influence? I mean, how can you measure a country's role in the world by just looking at its tech and its engineering foundations? Well, that's exactly the question we're going to unpack in this explainer.
All right, first things first. Before we go any further, we need to be on the same page. Let's really nail down what we mean when we say global role, especially when we're talking about systems and tech.
You know, a country's global role is so much more than just, being a part of the global economy. It's about actually being one of the architects of the systems that make it all work. It's about having a hand in writing the rulebook for, well, everything, from how money moves around the world to the deep technical protocols that make the internet the internet.
And we can break this down even more into these key pillars. Now, the really important thing to see here is how they're all interconnected. It's like a web. You can't have a top-tier tech industry without a strong economy to fuel it, right? And you're not going to have great global communication if you don't have the R&D pumping out new tech. Every single one of these pillars supports the others.
Okay, so now let's pop the hood and look at the engine that really drives this whole thing: innovation. This is where we get into the nitty-gritty of where that technological leadership actually comes from.
When we say technology, a lot of the time we're really talking about the companies that build it. I mean, think about it. Apple's iPhone. It totally revolutionized how we talk to each other. Microsoft software is basically the backbone for businesses everywhere. And Google, well, it's how we find pretty much anything. These giants don't just sell us gadgets or software. They've literally built the digital worlds we spend our time in. And this gives us a great snapshot of where that influence is concentrated. It's really no shocker to see computing and cloud systems leading the pack. I mean, so much of what we do every day, from streaming a show to running a massive global company, it all relies on that cloud infrastructure. And what's it all built on? Tiny but unbelievably crucial semiconductors.
So where does all this amazing tech even come from? Well, it definitely doesn't just appear out of thin air. It's actually the product of a pretty well-defined pipeline. It all starts with foundational research at universities, then that knowledge gets developed in specialized labs, and finally it gets commercialized and unleashed on the world through these innovation ecosystems, like Silicon Valley. It's a whole system that's designed to transform a spark of an idea into something with real-world impact.
So, okay, building incredible technology is one piece of the puzzle. But how do you get it all to talk to each other on a global scale? That's a massive challenge, and it's what we're going to dig into next, how these global networks are actually architected.
This gives you a few key examples. Let's start with the internet itself. The US played a huge part in creating something called TCP/IP, which is basically the fundamental language that lets computers on the internet talk to each other. Fast forward to today, it's been a major player in developing 5G, the next wave of wireless tech. And now, it's pushing the envelope again with commercial satellite systems. Think SpaceX and its satellite internet.
Now, this is a really crucial point that I think gets overlooked a lot. Influence isn't just about inventing cool new stuff. It's also about writing the instruction manual for how everything works together. American organizations have been at the heart of setting the global standards for so many things, from the Wi-Fi you're probably using right now to the way the chips in our phones are designed. This is what makes sure our global tech world doesn't just fall into chaos.
Naturally, when you have technologies this powerful, they're going to be used in defense systems. Now, we're just going to touch on this for a moment, and we're going to look at it from a strictly systems engineering viewpoint. We're focused on just how incredibly complex these systems are.
From a pure engineering perspective, modern defense is basically a masterclass in systems integration. We're talking about weaving together all these different parts: super advanced radar, satellite comms, real-time data processing, and making them work as one single seamless network. Honestly, it's one of the most complex engineering puzzles on the planet.
All right, so after all that, what's the big picture? Let's step back and pull out the most important takeaways from everything we've looked at.
If you remember just one thing from all this, let it be this. This kind of global role isn't static. It's a constantly turning wheel of innovation, infrastructure, and tech leadership.
Each one feeds into the next, creating this powerful, self-reinforcing cycle that drives change.
So, let's wrap this up. From the systems point of view we've been taking, the US hasn't just been another player in the game of global technology. In many ways, it's been one of the lead architects, and the core of it all is this unique ecosystem that's just relentlessly designed to keep pushing the envelope of what's even possible.
Or, to put it really simply, when you look at the systems and technology that wire our world together, the United States has played a key part in drawing up the blueprints, especially for the digital world we all live in.
And that really leaves us with a huge question for the future, doesn't it? As these global systems keep evolving and as new technologies and new players enter the scene, how is that blueprint going to change? Who's going to be holding the pen? That's something for all of us to think about. Thanks for watching.